live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome this evening to Mindset of a Champion training, guys. This is Edge Global Inc. Elify Shuffled the Nation here. Whether you're coming to us from the YouTube channel or the Facebook page or here, StreamYard, drop me a note. How's everybody doing this evening, Wednesday? I hope you guys are having as good of a week as I am in business and personally. And sometimes I got to tell you, I had to do a little fake it till I make it starting on Monday. I wasn't quite ready to launch. I wasn't quite prepared as I normally am. My name is Michael Ray Newman, as you can see right down there, guys. Mindset of a Champion was brought with people like you in mind. And the reason that Guy and ER have invested in us to come bring this training, because it really is about like-minded people. It's really for us to pour into you, whether it be our elite business training that we have. And I don't care what business you're in, whether you're in a multi-level marketing group, whether you're in direct selling, whether you have a brick and mortar, whatever it is, there's 5 areas of your business. In Mindset of a Champion, we talk about sales training a lot. We talk about leadership training a lot. We talk about culture and communication a lot, how that bridges the gap and what that really looks like. We also make it about you. And that's what we want. All these trainings you have to do, what you do when you sit down, whether you're watching this evening or you're watching it, no matter when you're watching this, you got to make it about you. Take a few minutes every day and to pour into yourself, because what we always say is so many times we are so busy making it about other people, taking care of our business, taking care of our internal customers, taking care of our external customers, taking care of our family, our kids, our spouse, and we neglect the most important person, us. If our battery is not charged, if you can't operate at maximum capacity, you can't do what you probably, if you're in this group, your mentality is servant mentality. You have a servant leadership heart, and you can't serve like you really want to unless you take care of you. So Mindset of a Champion training, the reason Guy and ER have partnered with myself and Edwin, Britt, is because, and our team, is because they want to bring you this. They want to know you to know that it is lonely at the top, but they got your back. So as we drop into this training, and the 5 areas of the elite business training are leadership, sales, operations, accounting, and marketing. Now we call it brand alignment, that's your marketing. Cash flow is your accounting. Operations, that's when we talk that culture of communication, that collaborative approach that we bring. It builds a bridge between sales, operations, accounting, and leadership. We put leadership last because, there's a book out called Leaders Eat Last, and I think that's that servant mentality. You can have everything in life you want if you'll help enough other people get what they want. So we bring these trainings to you on Wednesday evenings, and we are so happy that we've been able to do that. We have had an overwhelming response. Edwin and I do this training all across North America in person, and now we've been doing it virtually for a while too. But it's really cool to watch open up and get back on the road again, and have some fun with a lot of people. And nothing like high five and seeing somebody in person. That's for sure. I've had a lot of fun. But as we talk about Mindset of a Champion, and the different areas and the different verticals there are in it, when we talk about elite business training and what you can really get out of it, tonight I want to talk about your goal setting piece, and that's called defining the gap. It's a piece of our training in Mindset of a Champion is goal setting. It's called defining the gap. And basically, if you had a whiteboard, which I happen to have one right here, and it has a bunch of stuff written on it, what's most priority is always on this board, because I have a few different things, a few plates spinning, but I've been defining the gap right now, and with Elify and with Shuffle, and with what we're bringing to you now, the new ambassador program we're going to be rolling out real soon. I'm not even sure I'm okay to talk about that, so that may have slipped out. But what we've been able to do is defining the gap, and that's when you set a goal, and mostly it's financial. When you talk about your cash flow, your accounting piece, or things you want to achieve, I love validating what I teach. I love validating what I've lived. Now, what does that mean? Educate and validate. That's what it means. That's all you're ever going to do. When you learn something, you'll either educate or validate. Educate means what? Oh, I learned it. That's pretty cool. It's only hard till you learn it. Validate is like, oh, I do that. That makes you feel good when somebody that comes to you that is an expert or an authority in a field, and you're in that same field, and they say something that you do and it's positive, you feel good. You validate yourself like, I'm on the right track. That's what validating is. But it also can be negative. Oh, if I have a negative self-talk, and every time something happens, I say, no wonder it happened to me. I always get in the long line at the bank. Traffic always slows down for me. That is validating it in the wrong way, right? Our self-talk is everything. But something happened to me Monday. We were doing our month-end books for a company. It's a labor company. We've had it for 20 years. I'm really proud of it. We employ about 2,500 people in it. And we were looking at our forecast, projection, and goal. And I've talked to you guys about this before. And if you've been on this training at all, you know me when I define the gap. And what does that mean, defining the gap? Well, defining the gap means you get the big whiteboard. At the very top, you put what if. I know it's not possible, but what if it was? And at the very bottom, this is a goal setting technique we do when we coach people, C-level executives to small business owners to salespeople, and just people that are trying to get better in spiritually, mentally, physically, personally, financially, family, and in their career. We coach in those areas. And when we're defining the gap, it's a goal setting piece. And the gap we start out with, if we're going to try to define the gap in the finance area that you want to make X number of dollars, what if? I know it's not possible, but what if it is? What would be the number you would want to make? What would that? So we have them write that down. At the bottom, we'll talk about finances in this case because this is really cool. It validated something for me. At the bottom, you draw a little stick figure, or some people draw hair on it, and I put glasses on mine. But at the bottom, just you. Now that white space in the middle, that right there is the gap. Now we have to define that gap. And when you come in and we talk about finances, and this came to me when I was 20 years old. I'd just gotten married. I had a baby on the way already. And I was just trying to survive. I was in survival mode in a lot of ways. And I put a forecast and a projection and a goal up on the whiteboard. At the very top, I put an F for forecast, P for projection, and a G for goal. Now, what did that mean? Forecast means this. If everything goes wrong, what do I have to make this month? As a salesperson, hey, Tracy Lindsay, how you doing, young lady? What do I have to make this month? That's a forecast. The worst case scenario, this is for me when I was just starting out, forecast was this. What do I have to make to keep the light bill paid and buy diapers? That's what it was. I was in survival mode. And a projection was, hey, if we do pretty good, if the economy holds, if my sales come in like they should, if I get enough customers, and if I just hit my number, what did that look like? That's kind of in the middle of the road. And the goal, the G, forecast, projection, and goal, the goal would be, man, what happens if we catch lightning in a bottle? So when this is the mistake a lot of people made, and for me, this is with me in my 20s. When I put a goal, I'm pretty goal-oriented. I mean, I think high. I don't really define the gap. I just think of what if. I say, we can do it, we can do it, we can do it. Well, I'd never defined the gap, so what happened? My goal was too high, and I would start off and step right off the cliff, sucker punch myself, and then I would quit because there's no way I can reach the goal. We're 3 weeks into it, and it's already too far away. A forecast, projection, and a goal allowed me to do this. So if I start out for the first month and some things go wrong, and I look at my number and I can hit my forecast, I'm at least going to be able to pay my light bill. It inspired me to continue to go. And then what would happen, a couple of breaks, and all of a sudden I would move close to that projection. I'd be 3 months into the year, and I'm like, oh man, we're on my projection right now. We're almost there. If I continue to do what I've done, and let me make some adjustments, it keeps you involved. It keeps you in the game, right? Because when if you're an athlete, you're playing to the fourth quarter or the third period as a hockey player or anything, if we can get there and stay in the game, we got a chance. So forecast, projection, and goal hit this. And I'm going to tell you something. All these years later, every single company I have, and I have, I've failed at a lot, but I've been really successful and hit some good licks. And currently, we have 4 companies that are starting to do really well, and some of them are really doing really well. With the labor company, I've got a new CEO, Mike D, and he brings me the month end. This is my validation I was talking about. He brings me my month end numbers on Monday for last month. We're a couple days behind, but we sat down, and the first thing he pulls out is the forecast, projection, and goal. And how we set a forecast, projection, and goal for that company now, we were coming out of a pandemic. Business was terrible. So what we did is take the few months of last year when the business was good before we were affected, and we asked, we extrapolated that over 12 months, and this is what we should do in the middle. Projection. This is what we should do. Some things go good, some things go bad. We should do our projection. We started off this year, and the forecast is if everything goes wrong, what do we do that we don't have to lay anybody off? Everybody gets paid. Everybody keeps their benefits. The same concept, right? What do I have to do to pay the light bill and buy diapers? Back when I was 20, I'm doing it now when I've been very financially very successful, a lot of people would say. And to me, I'm being significant in my life, and that's something you have to define for yourself because success looks different to different people. I mean, this all ties into the mindset of a champion, and it's awesome because I teach it and train it, but I drink my own Kool-Aid. And this is what's cool, really cool for me to see on Monday is this. We've been on our forecast all year, and this is June. Half the year's gone, basically. So we're in June. We're right on our forecast, and we're a little bit upset, and he is starting off brand new guy with me, but he's been with me in another company for 7 years, and he just transitioned over to this because he's ready for a C-level executive, and I promoted him. And this company we had for 20 years, so this is a big deal for him. He's only been with me 7. He's proven himself, and he definitely backs brother play. He buys into our culture, and he's helped continue to grow that culture with his company. I'm super proud of this guy. So he looks at this. We've been on our forecast all year. He was excited. I've been wanting to show you this. I can't wait to show you. Look at this. Look what happened this month. If we do the exact same numbers as we did in May, we will be above our forecast for the year. So we will be above our projection because we hit above our projection this month. And there's still 7 months left in the year. And who knows, we might be able to hit our goal. Isn't that crazy? And I said, I love this. So validating to me, taking the time not just to say, hey, this was our best year last year. Well, this is what we did last year. We got to do this plus this because 10% is growth. That's what we normally do. No, we sat down. We took the time to define the gap last quarter of last year. We were finishing strong to start fast. We were making some assumptions on what would happen with the economy and the people coming back to work with what was going on. But those assumptions, we had a forecast, and we were nailing our forecast, which is the worst case scenario for the first half of the year. What was positive about that? What was positive about that for that new CEO that I just hired for this company? Let me tell you what was positive. What's up, guys? Thanks for jumping in. What's cool about that is it kept him motivated. It kept his anxiety down. I talked to him about it. He goes, because I'm hitting that forecast, and I know you told me for the first year if you can hit this forecast for us not knowing. So it let me sleep at night. But it also kept him in the game. It kept him in the game, and then all of a sudden, bam! Now with those parameters that we gave him, with just the tools that we gave him, he's like, oh man, it's creating a competitive culture, a competitive collaboration within our team because he's like, okay, if we can get this number, if we can do this advertising, work within this budget, and get these more people, and if we get one more customer, if we go to this customer, and we have, so he's thinking, he's engaged, he's activity, and activity breeds accomplishment, right? So we are accomplishing a lot of things now because he's focused on the goal or the parameters, the forecast, projection, and goal. And let me tell you something. I got to tell you, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of what we've been able to build with Mindset of a Champion because that's being significant because we're able to change lives with what we're doing because we drink our own Kool-Aid. And if we know for a fact you can have everything in life you want if you'll help enough other people get what they want. We don't build a business. We build good people, and people build a business. Now, what does that mean, really? You give, as a leader, we give the right tools to you, and you go out and you plow the field. We're not going to give you a horse and a hoe to do it. We're going to give you a big old John Deere tractor to plow that field with. I want to give people the right tools, put them in the right position, on the right seat on the bus, and they're going to be successful. Saturday, this is a perfect example, and I'll wrap up here, guys. Check this out. Saturday morning, I woke up. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't sleep very good. And so I got up, and I was flipping channels, and Apollo 13 came on. You guys have seen this movie with Tom Hanks. I know it came out a long time ago, but it was Apollo 13. I had not seen the movie. Of course, I knew the story, but I started watching it. And there's one piece of this that validates forecast, projection, and goal for me, and you give a box, you put somebody in a space and give them some tools, even if they get handcuffed a little bit. But if you say make it happen, there's one part of the movie, and this is awesome. There's one part of the movie, you guys have probably seen it, but one part of the movie where the CO2 levels start going up in the ship, and they're actually killing themselves with the poison and they're breathing in and out. So they get the smartest guys back home in Houston, and they say, here's the deal, everybody get in this room. And he comes in with a big box of a spacesuit and duct tape and going to the bathroom urine bag, and he throws it out. He throws everything on this table that's actually on the ship. And he says, we have to have a filter that brings down CO2 levels. Make it happen with what's on this table. That's all you got. Think about that. That's all you got. And they were looking at just on there, the smartest people, when you're given something, a task to do, a forecast, projection, and goal, this is what you have to do. And this is the tools that you have to do it with. Of course, there might be the economy may get tough. You may have a customer bail out on you, but you're going to get some wins along the way too. They came back within a few hours later. Guess what? With this duct tape and baling wire system that they were able to build up there, which saved their life. How awesome is that? That is crazy what we can do with when we have a plan. When you plan your work and work your plan, and you continually are willing to adjust that plan and work within the parameters of it. Now think about this: forecast, projection, and goal. I want to sell 20 people next month. That's my projection. That's middle of the road. So some things go good, some things go bad. If I work the numbers, and if I send out 8 shuffle cards a day to this industry, there is a metric that you can come up with. 100%. It is a numbers game. Most sales are closed 8 out of 12 offerings. There is a numbers. The numbers do not lie. So you can set your day up. You can set your success up when you talk about forecast, projection, and goal from just having a projection. If I get up and I have this many deals and send this many out, I'm going to make this many sales, and I'm going to do this many on my team. It is a numbers game. The problem is we don't continue to work the plan. We are not relentlessly consistent. I know Guy and ER have adopted the mentality of we are relentlessly consistent. So if you have a forecast, projection, and goal, and I start with projection a lot of times right in the middle, because that's what should happen. Some things go good, some things go bad. I get in a fight with my wife. I got a problem. My car breaks down. Whatever it is, I still can make this happen. And when you're putting those parameters, you're the mathematicians, you're the scientists at NASA in Houston with just these things. Mike D, my CEO of our labor company that employs 2,500 people, have been given these tools, and you have to work within these parameters, bro. But you got to hit this. This is your number, no matter what. When we give him those things, he's hitting his forecast. All of a sudden, some of the tools he's been able to use, he's hitting projections. At the end of the day, man, and he said this, he goes, man, if we got really lucky and if some things broke the right way, we could hit that goal. Think about what could happen, guys, if you had something you could look at every single day when it comes to yourself. What are you doing physically, personally, mentally, spiritually to help yourself? Are you taking the time to step back like you are right now tonight, Tracy? I appreciate you guys being here and taking the time to pour into you. Because if you can't make you the best person you can be, you can't take care of the people you need to take care of. And you can't give them the best that they need. And that's robbing them as well as you. You got to take the time to refill your bucket, guys. And you cannot hit a target you do not see. You cannot hit a target you do not see. I want to have my best year yet. You might be saying that. What does that look like? Can you name it to me like this? If you can't, you're not going to have your best year. Unless you get lucky and hit the lottery. My dad lives right next door. He plays the lottery, and he was scratching them off, and he was checking his numbers a while back on the back porch when I was with him, and he said, I'm going to stop playing the lottery. And I said, you can't stop playing the lottery, Paul. That's called my dad, Paul. I said, that's our retirement plan. He started laughing. Of course, that's the case, but you have to be meaningful, specific about your goals. And it's really, you need to sit back and think about a forecast, projection, and a goal that keeps you in the game. Because if you just say my goal's this, and then you start off and you start doing this, get further and further away because your plan, you didn't see some of the things in the plan. When you do that, guess what? You quit. People get discouraged. But if you have a goal and then a projection and then forecast, oh man, I'm hanging on to this forecast. I got a shot. You have no idea what could happen between now and then to get you towards that next step, which is your projection. And then if you do a projection, it's going to be great. And then goal is, man, and we'll hit those goals sometimes, but you need help. If you need help, ask for it. If you don't, prove it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see y'all. Go back and watch this, guys, about forecast, projection, and goal. And I've validated some stuff. It's really awesome when I see, and I get a lot of people that call me all the time, Michael, I'm doing my forecast, my projection, and my goals, and I'm struggling with it. I had the plan written down. I look at the plan every single day, and it's not getting any better. Well, are you evaluating the plan? Are you changing the plan? Are you wadding the plan up and throwing it over your shoulder and starting over sometimes? That's what has to happen. When you get relentless about being consistent, that breeds success. Because those little bitty wins turn into designing your life. And I live a life, don't kid yourself, I live a life by design. Now, sometimes it doesn't go the way I want it to, but when I get used to running and taking care of so many people so fast, it's like driving that car I talk about. When you drive that car for the first time and the first time you go 100 miles an hour, you have that pucker factor, right? You're like, oh my gosh, this is so fast. But when you get used to going that fast, it's easy to do it. It's only hard till you learn it. Take the time, step back, be meaningful, specific about your goals. Understand you can't hit a target that you can't see. Think about that. You can't hit a target you can't see, so be meaningfully specific. Start your whiteboard and put your what if at the top, yourself at the bottom. Look at that white space in the middle, and that's the gap. And here's what you do with that gap. You start writing down the things, the reasons you cannot do it. Whoa, I said, you said can't, Michael. Yeah, can't's a cuss word to me. But what you need to write down over here on the left-hand side of that board or your piece of paper when you talk about your forecast, projection, and goal and finances, you go, I want to make X number of dollars. Well, the reason, or I want to start my side hustle business and I need my side hustle to make X number of dollars. Well, I can't. Why can't you? Well, time. All right. There's 86,400 seconds in a day. Let's start there. What are you doing with it? All right. Man, I just don't have enough money. All right. What kind of money do you need to pour into that side hustle to make sure you're priming the pump so you can get something out of it and you can create time? And when you put those things down in the board, when you move them from the side column of can't, and you define that each one, 86,400 seconds time, and you rearrange your day, your week, your month, and then all of a sudden, I could do that. I could do that. Well, those stumbling blocks that are your can'ts turn into your stepping stones that can. That's how we coach. We coach to the target, guys. Think about that. Coach yourself to the target. It truly is only hard till you learn it. And I got a juice bottle here, but water. Think about how they deliver water nowadays, right? You got to stay relevant. Are you using the best tools out there? Are you using your shuffle card to capture leads? Are you really using all the CRM pieces to it? Not just a business card. I use it every single day, and then I flip people to it as soon as I coach them or talk with them. We start with that. That's how we measure ourselves. Are you really doing that? Think about water. Water's still great. It's a relevant, perfect product that we have to sustain ourselves. We used to drink it out of a stream, and then we used to pump it. Have you ever seen Mr. Zig Ziglar's pump? I'm very well aware of that story. He used to pump it out of the ground, out of a well, and then we drink it out of a faucet. And back in the 80s, I drink it out of the water hose right out of the deal. And now we drink it out of a bottle. It's crazy. It's still the same product, but the way it's delivered in a more efficient way for us right now. So stay relevant. When you turn your can'ts into cans and those stumbling blocks turn into stepping stones, that right there is going to give you the ability not just to be successful spiritually, mentally, and physically, and then with your family, and then personally, and then financially. That's going to let you to design a life all the way through all those. And that's when you start really being significant. We all chase success, guys. Success to you and to me is different. It might be a lake house or paying for the kids' school or, having a vacation every 4 months or just making an extra $5,000 a year. That changes a lot of lives. That's success. What does it look like to you and me are different. But significance, that's only one definition. Because when you're chasing success, you go through survival mode. We go through stability, or some things are going good, like our projection. Some things are bad, but I'm doing pretty good. And then we get to what we think is success, and it's usually monetary things, material things, and we're trying to help ourselves be, do, and have more. But significance, and you don't have to be successful to get to significance, but significance is when you help other people be, do, and have more. And that's my journey. That's what we're on right now. I really sincerely appreciate all you guys watching this evening. Go back and watch it. Get engaged. Hey, tell you what, let's do a live Facebook training about goal setting, about forecast, projection, and goal. How we coach C-level executives right then. What I just gave you guys was a big part of our C-level coaching and goal setting program we do. It's called Defining the Gap. Remember, in your business, you need to look at all these areas. Your leadership. Are you being the right kind of leader? Are you the tell me more kind of leader? Sales training. Are you using the trust process? Are you planning, preparing before you relate and uncover the need and offer a solution and take massive action with these people? That's the trust process. Can you sit here and talk about it for 8 hours without looking at a note? If you can't, you need to do more practice. That's the most important thing, is practice when nobody else is looking, because you're going to be rewarded in public for what you've done in private for years. Don't forget about that. Your operations, is your operations in alignment with your sales staff? Is your operations in alignment with your cash flow? Is your cash flow enough to be able to sustain your operations, to deliver your products and services? Because the sales people that you have doing it for you guys, you got to take all 5 areas of that. And then your brand, you got to align it. You got to align your brand, your marketing, which is that, with all those areas, being consistent with your internal customers or your people that work for you or work with you, your team. If you get those guys on the right path and moving them the right way, your external customers will be attracted to you like a duck on a June bug. I'm going to tell you they will be, because when they see that consistency and what you're breeding is success, they want some of it. And that's a perfect example of how you build a direct sales team, or you build your own team. I don't care if it's a brick and mortar or direct selling, affiliate, whatever it is, guys. Appreciate y'all being here tonight, man. I can go all night. I'm pretty fired up, but go out, play hard, have fun, and make it count. No matter what, be nice. Like my granny always used to tell me, people won't always remember what you say, but they'll always remember how you made them feel, guys. So for real, sincerely, be nice. We'll see you next time right here in the Shuffle.